Hello everyone. So on Monday I talked about the Model 24 and what I liked about it. So I thought I'd do the same with the DP-32 and discuss what I like about, well, the DP-32. So I'm going to start by saying the biggest thing I love about it is an all-in-one machine. It is, you can record, you can mix, you can master, and you can release from it. You really, if you don't have the cash, if you don't have any extra devices, you can do everything from here, and you don't have to worry about anything. The only thing you can't do is like you can't change the bit rate and the sample rate. So if you go on a site where they need a different sample rate or something for your song, well, you're gonna have to use your computer and Audacity and that. But this is as close to DAW as you can get without being DAW. That's pretty much what it is. It is a full workstation. It has everything. It's just doesn't have, well, you can add plugins and all that stuff, but it has pretty much everything there for you. So it is, in that case, it is really nice. That being said, my next point goes right into it, which is it does have decent internal effects. Now, I've split up the internal effects into three different categories because they are technically three different categories. The first one is dynamic. The dynamic effects, which are based off the inputs, so A to H, the inputs, and that is your compressor, noise suppressor, de-esser, and exciter. And in this case, you're able to use two of them at the same time. You can't do more than that. That's just the way it is. And honestly, for an internal compressor and all this stuff, they've got great functionality. There's a nice range that you can play with. You're not limited like you are with the Model 24, where they've set the attack and the release, and you more or less can just say, I want more compression, I want less compression, which honestly is still great. But in this case, you have more ability to change that, which works in your favor. So the dynamic effects are great. I call them the single track or guitar effects. That's where you go and in the mixer you say insert effect, and then it will use those effects. So those are under effects as well, but they are in the guitar effects area. So you have to click on the guitar tab to pull up those, which is your noise suppressor, your virtual amp, your compressor, and then your pedal effects, which are your phase, flanger, chorus, tremolo, Ottawa, and delay. And those are all in there, and you can use those. Now, once again, the drawback is you can only work it on one channel if you're going to do it as a playback. Now, if you record it, what you've recorded with the playback, or if you record it with the effects all on it, then you can use that on all your tracks or how many you want to. But yes, that is a drawback to the internal effects or the guitar effects. The third one is the send effects. Now these are meant for mix down. So these go through the stereo bus. They can't be recorded on a track. They are just in the ether. So they're there. It's the same thing as when if you were to use the inputs and set it to a stereo bus, it's in the ether. It's not really it's not getting recorded on a track. So these are used during mix down, and that would be your reverb, chorus, and delay. I've used these before. Like I said, they're all decent. Like they're not like studio grade or something, but they're decent. Like they will get you by if it's all you have, and it's honestly they sound good. I've used them. People don't notice it. They're wonderful that way. So, and the other nice thing about all this is all that data that you set gets stored on the song. So when you switch to different songs while you're working on this, all that information is still there. You don't have to go back and reset it. Whereas with the Model 24, it's analog, so you have to go and you have to put all the settings back the way you had them if you switch songs on that. The next part is actually taking further from that. You can store your track settings, which is nice. So when you're in your mixer and you set the effects, the panning, or you set the equalizer, you set, you insert the effects or not, set the panning, set the sends, except for fader levels, that's separate. But when you do that, will store that. So when you leave the song, come back to the song, it's still there. You don't have to go and, once again, play with it. It's already there. So I love that too. The next part is the editing capabilities are good too. They're not like, what's the word? Like, they're not like fine-tooth comb, but for most of what you're doing, it is great. Like if you're cutting out a piece because somebody hit something that they weren't supposed to, like, or it just, all of a sudden you're playing and somebody has a blonk and you don't want that blonk in there, then you just can remove it. They're easy to use. It's got the ability to edit them. It's nice. There are a bunch of other stuff on here that I have not yet played with, and I should, like record save, for instance. I have not really played with. Bouncing I've done before. Bouncing's nice too. And finally, of course, is the fact that you have full mixdown and mastering capabilities. The mastering on this is great. I love using it. I always get what I want out of it, and it just sounds fantastic. So this is my video today. It's kind of short. It's gotten shorter and shorter because I keep recording this again because I keep coughing. I'm trying to do it straight through without. So here we are. Once again, thanks for watching. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Can I eat puppet chow? Can I live in a tree? Can I go to sleep right now? Can I get anything for free? Bag of tea, climb a tree. Don't you know? Sucks to be me.